Hey, what's up, ladies, guys? All right, welcome to Let's Fix Things. Well, we're moving on to the back of the truck now. The front of the truck the front brakes are done. Now we're moving on to the back of the truck. I still got to have I'm still waiting for all 4 shocks to come in, front and back. And the tie rod ends for the front still have not come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pressure wash the back of the truck now. Don't forget, I took the fifth wheel hitch off already, and I also took off the regular 2-inch hitch receiver that was bolted underneath the bottom right about there. I already took that off. So now I'm going to pressure wash everything, try to get as much of the debris, and I took the exhaust off. I'm going to try to get as much of the debris off as possible, and that way when I go to work on the brakes, it'll be a little bit easier. The truck had some undercoating on it, so, and some undercoating or paint, so it's pretty solid. It's actually really pretty solid. It's just a lot of that paint has fallen off also, plus there is that little bit of rust and dirt and grime from the years. All right, so it's a 2006 F350 with a 6.0 quad cab diesel dually short bed. They're hard to find. So, and I'm gonna have a bed made. Once it's all done, I'm gonna have a flatbed made so I can put that truck camper on it. That's the whole goal. Don't forget. All right, guys. Oh, and I still got three engine codes. Air intake temperature. Two of them are for the air intake temperature, and one of them is low turbo. I don't know why, but it's moving. It drives. It starts up no problem. So that can wait right now. I want to get this stuff done. And worst case scenario, if I can't figure out those two or three codes, I'll just bring it to the garage and have them give it a second look. All right, but let's pressure wash this. Let me show you how I get you in there to show you a little closer, and then we'll get some of this rust off. Well, if you've been following along, this is where we're at now. Oh, and the front hose leak was actually leaking. Focus. See if we can focus. Right out of the block right there. This is a hose from it. I gotta put it away. So anyways, as you can see, there's no shocks, no exhaust. And if you remember, when I first got the truck, there was a whole bunch of water in it, in the fuel tank. Because that was sitting, the guy left it uncovered like this. So I gotta make sure when I pressure wash, I don't really concentrate too much water here, because the water seeps in this way. I do believe that's part of the problem. So, but you can see there's a bunch of debris buildup in there. In that shock bracket, there's a little bit of debris. You just work your way right around, but it's still the frame is still pretty solid. I'm very happy with that. You know, these are pockets for the leaf springs. Those get caught up with debris. So that's what we're working on today. My goal is pretty much from here this way to get pressure washed at least once today. And see this, I'm gonna have to get a new pumper here maybe. We'll see how bad it cleans up, or how good it cleans up, I should say. But yeah, you see there is paint there, so someone did try taking care of it. Probably when they welded these brackets, got it cut off. I'm gonna have the guy who builds the bed cut those off. But my goal is to get it all super clean right now. All right, let's go fire up the pressure washer. I gotta put these away. Well, let's go check it out. I washed the driveway, picked up all the paint and rust and all that. And that was like the third or fourth time I pressure washed the frame of this thing. I forgot I washed it before. So it's getting there. It's all solid. The only one thing that I noticed was the heat shield right there for the exhaust pipe. Right there, which really isn't needed. That little heat shield there is a little rusted. But that's it. Everything else is, like I said, nice and solid. Nothing that, you know, desire or requires immediate attention or anything on this. I'm really impressed with it. So I am going to probably wash it one more time before I start putting paint on it. So what I'll probably do is work on the brakes when I get next time I get free time, get the rear brakes done. And once the rear brakes are done and painted behind the wheels, then I'll probably start painting the frame and wash it again and stuff like that. Because every time you wash it, more will come off. Just like the front, when I'm all said and done, I'll probably wash this thing again real good with a bigger pressure washer maybe. Try to blast out anything else that I missed in here that's loose. And then I can touch all that up also. And I still got to do the belly of the vehicle. It's not a bad looking truck though. Not bad condition. I'm pretty happy with my purchase here. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. 2006 Ford F350. Getting ready to do the rear brakes. So I'll probably just throw all this on the rear brake video, more than likely. So anyways, check out some of the other videos, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Today we are going to disassemble we're going to take the tires off the back and we're going to basically inspect the rear brakes, and hopefully we just need to bleed them. I don't want to have to replace anything on the back if not needed. The calipers on there appear to be new, so fingers crossed everything else checks out inside there, but I'd like to take it all apart, check it out, make sure, and see what we're dealing with in there first. All right, so I already chalked the front of the tires. My driveway is on a downhill angle. So what I do is I chalked it, put the truck in neutral, put all the weight of the truck on those chalks. So when I jack up the front, I chalked both front tires, as you can see right there. So when I jack up the back of the truck shouldn't roll forward, because I can't put the emergency brake on, obviously, because emergency brake is on the back of the tires. And the parking pin, the transmission, works off the back of the tires. So that's what we're stuck with. So I may just do one side at a time. Let's see how complicated it gets. But we will, I'm basically hopefully I just have to inspect them. And like I said, I want to bleed the brakes with my vacuum bleeder. So let's get started. So to take off the chrome, I'm going to use a 29 millimeter on the chrome nut that holds the cover on. And the one that is missing the chrome is actually 27. These shouldn't be that tight. So that one wasn't tight, so I'll get that off later with the machine. And this one, that's not tight at all. All right, let me go get my impact gun. So on the chrome one, it was a 29 millimeter. This one's missing the chrome cover, so that was a 27 millimeter. Now I gotta break these free while it's on the ground. It's gonna be a 21. So while the truck is on the ground, I'm gonna go to the other side and break those free also. So we're gonna jump to the other side, but look at this. Look at the amount of rust. So your emergency brake is inside this part here. This is where your normal driving brakes are, right here. And they're grooved. Not bad, I've had worse, but they're grooved. And your emergency brake rides right in here. But look at this. It's a 1/4 inch of rust falling off. Oh boy. All right, well, let's go see what the other side looks like. So I have a feeling this is gonna cost me some money also on this side. I was hoping to try to get away with not having to do something crazy on this side. But it looks like I'm gonna be buying more parts, I think. All right, let me take this front tire, the other dualies off. Once again, it's 21 millimeter for the actual regular lug nuts themselves. All right, well, it looks like I'm busting out the pressure washer again. Oh, I got a broken hose on it, a broken fitting. Huh. Maybe I'll bust out the John Deere, the bigger one. But that's in the trailer in the back. And then I could wash all this stuff and go from there. Because it looks like I'm going to be definitely getting new calipers for the back. I mean rotors for the back. And I do believe to do that I got to yank the axle. So this is a little bit bigger of a process than the front ones. I think these calipers are just painted. I don't think they were new. They might be. The brackets are old. All right, well, let me think this through, and then I'll start the next step once I figure out what to do. So my dilemma is, see, yeah, they did some caliper work on here, but they didn't take the time to clean this up and paint that, which is fine, as long as the calipers work. But this whole piece here is the rotor. There's a drum brake in here. That's your emergency brake. That's what your steel cable does here. And this is what your driving brakes, your rotor. This acts as a rotor for your caliper. This is the emergency brake caliper. See? And this one's not, well, it is grooved a little bit, but not as bad as the other one. But you can see the rust is just flaking off. So in order to do that, I do believe I have to yank the hubs, the axle, which is right here. And at that point, you don't want any dirt or rust going back into your whole rear axle there. So that's why I want to really pressure wash this. This side's really bad. This side's really, really bad. I've never worked on this dually before. We're gonna learn together. All right, Austin came home, so he helped me get the big John Deere pressure washer out. I knocked a bunch of rust off this side here. It looks like I'll be able to save. I should be able to reuse this if I take it off and bead blast it and get it all looking nice. I'm hoping. Obviously, I need a new caliper. I mean, rotor. I keep getting that mixed up. This side's not as bad, but there's still some rust. But I'm gonna hit this thing with a pressure washer as much as I can with a big pressure washer now, and I'll hit the rest of the frame, and then that'll be it for the day while I do a little bit more research. And the other problem I'm having is this emergency brake, for some reason, is all jammed up. It's kind of stuck in there. So I'm probably gonna have to redo all the hardware in the emergency brake also. So I'm gonna sweep up this rust, and then I'm gonna set up the big John Deere pressure washer, and then I'm gonna try to get this thing cleaned up even more. I swept up all the loose rust. As you can hear, we got the John Deere pressure washer out. I swept up that pile, got the heavy duty wand. It's warming up, just filled it up with fuel. So we are good to go. I'm gonna crank this thing up, and I'm really gonna concentrate on the hubs here, trying to clean up those, and the leaf springs, everything I couldn't get really before. I just gotta make sure I don't blast through that gas tank. This one's a little bit bigger of a pressure washer, so I'll be able to get more of the debris off. Somewhere I have one of those attachments where you attach a special nozzle to your pressure washer wand, and it sucks up sand and it shoots sand out. So it's a wet sand blaster basically. They're cheap, they're like $40, $50. You know, you might spend $100 on a real good one, I don't know. But I bought it a couple years ago to sandblast another piece of machine, and I never used it. So I can't find it, and it's still in the box. I might end up buying a new one, you never know. But what I'm gonna probably do is do the whole truck like I have been, piecemealing it, do the whole back part here. And if I really like this truck, I'm probably gonna send it out to have the whole thing professionally, once it's all built, sandblasted and painted and undercoated professionally. We'll see, but right now this is better than nothing. So all right, let me get this going. I wanna crank this through. I can open the garage door again. But I tell you, what a difference. What a difference pressure washing with a good pressure washer makes. I think that's savable. I think all this is savable. It'll get even better once I take it off. I can clean it up real nice maybe. But look at the frame. So I think I'm gonna paint the frame tomorrow. Get a good coat on it. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna take all this bracket, that bracket, and that bracket off. I'll have him cut these off. Well, this one, I bet you I break this one off with a hammer. It looks like I welded it on. And I'm gonna take this off so I can paint underneath it. I'll take the bumper off. Possibly. We'll see. But yeah, all right, so I'm done for the day now. Now I gotta get axle seals because I gotta remove the axle. I have to order rotors. The brake pads look real good. They look brand new. As long as these calipers work, I think all I need are the brake drum, the rotors. And I'm probably gonna need some emergency brake hardware. And if I'm going through all that, if these are easily, the dust shields, if they're easily switchable at that point, I might put dust shields on also. Because I know it was a pain in the butt on my other F350. So if I'm already yanking the axles and doing all that, I might do that. And rebuild the whole emergency brake system on there. Do it once, do it right. Isn't that the saying? All right, well, I'm gonna put these tires back in front of the truck because like I said, my driveway's on a downhill angle and the only thing that's holding it up are those 2 jack stands and 2 Harbor Freight wheel chocks. So I think my neighbors would appreciate it if I had a little bit more volume in front of the truck. I would appreciate, in case we have an earthquake, I'd appreciate it. You can see the angle it's on. All right, guys, let me put these back. I'm gonna wrap this up here. I don't know what video this is gonna be in, or if this is gonna be just his own video, just taking it apart. Probably not. I just took tires off. We'll see. I do know my shocks are coming in, so maybe I will. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll probably get the frame all done and painted, and I'll throw all the shocks in. As soon as I'm waiting on the 2 rear ones now. I got the front ones in, but I haven't put them in yet, obviously. So, but yeah, once I can paint the frame, then I can put the rear shocks in too. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm gonna wrap this section of the video up here. See you when I get back. So before all you haters start hating on me for just using a rattle can on this stuff, I am just trying to get it to look better than it was and to make it easier to work on. I do not know if I'm keeping a truck yet once it's done, and I do not want to invest a whole bunch of money in, so I'm not wasting money on rims. And they look a lot better anyways. And I got the simulators cover them, so they'll be looking chrome. And then as for the frame, it's in really good shape. And like I said, if I decide to keep this truck after it's all done, after I have it for a year or two, I might just send it in to have it all professionally done. But what I'm doing now is I'm just putting a clean coat on it, a clean coat of the Rust-Oleum undercoating for now, just so it doesn't rust any farther and it looks better. And it's, for me, it's easier to work on. I will probably do 3 or 4 more coats on this before I put it back together. Excuse me. But once I get all the parts in to yank the axles, I'm going to yank the axles, put new rotors on, and probably redo the emergency brake. And I ordered the whole new dust shield. The whole new dust shield and emergency brake. It's called loaded. It's all, supposedly it's all together. So I'm going to do both sides. It's actually pretty expensive. I didn't realize how expensive they were, but especially because this one is already wasted and it's just a matter of time before they need replacing. So I got it this far apart, I might as well do it. I still got to take these brackets off. Those 4 brackets, I'll have the guy cut these off when he does the bed. And I'm also gonna do a bunch of undercoating coats from the top like this, whatever I can see, a couple coats. And then when I'm all said and done, I'm gonna go underneath and spray whatever I can see from underneath. And then pretty much from here back will be done. The front wheel well is already done. So then I just got to, once the truck is up and running and the wheels are on and the brakes are done, I'll make some heavy duty ramps or something, and I'll drive the truck up so I can get underneath there easier with a pressure washer and pressure wash underneath and spray and coat all that also. So it's getting there, but looking better already. I tell you, it's amazing what a little washing and time does. Hey, what's up, ladies, guys? Welcome to Let's Fix Things. Hey, if you like my content and you like to follow along on some of my projects, including this 2006 F350 with a 6.0, do me a favor and hit the likes and the subscribe button. Kind of helps out with the algorithm there. I ended up taking a 2-month medical break from making videos and doing any repairs, but I'm back at it again. So I need all the help I can to get back on that algorithm. After 2 years, I was doing good, and the 2-month break really kind of messed up that algorithm. So give me a thumbs up if you can, and a subscribe to help push this video and other videos of mine. All right, anyways, we got the 2006 F350 6.0 quad cab dually short bed diesel that I've been working on. Not sure which video this is, but this video we are going to be redoing the rear brakes, at least on one side. If everything goes well, both sides. And it has dualies, like I said, so I got to yank the axles. I haven't worked on a dually rear brake system in a long time. So I ended up ordering a whole new emergency brake assembly. Includes the dust shield, all the springs, and it's all actually assembled. I'll show you. I ordered a new axle seal kit, but I'm not going to put this, I'm hoping not to have to replace the actual seal because I don't have a press to put it in and proper tools. I just want to replace it. I got the O-ring for the axle, so that's what I'm replacing. You got to yank the axles. I got a new rotor and new pads for both sides. I have undercoated, sorry about the airplane that's flying ahead. I've already undercoated it. I think I got 6 coats of undercoating on there now. It looks really good. The only thing I haven't painted or undercoated is where the brakes are. I'll take care of that as we assemble or as we go through. I might even get to the point where I'll just paint the calipers tonight and I'll reinstall the calipers tomorrow. But I'll hopefully be in the same video. Then we're gonna bleed them. The previous, I think it was the previous video or the video before that, I already did the front brakes and rotors, and I do believe I did a caliper in the front, rotors, brake pads, washed and undercoated, and bled them. I have 4 new shocks sitting in the boxes. I don't know if I'm gonna get to assemble them in this video, but we'll see. And yeah, check out video 1 right on through, and look at the money pit that I've been working on. It's actually gonna be a nice truck when it's all done. All right, guys, let me show you what we have, and I'll show you the tools that I pulled out that I know we're gonna need. And odds are I'm gonna need more tools, so I'll have to run in the garage as we go. But from what I could tell, this is what we need already, and this is the parts that I have. Oh, there's the truck. Don't mind all the cardboard boxes. I just did an exhaust on my 2001 F350 with a 7.3. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be yanking the axle out here. We need the axle hub. I think that's what this is called. We gotta take that off the rotor. Once the rotor is off, and then we could take the whole emergency brake assembly off. The tools, most of the tools that I need most of the sockets are gonna be right here. I'll say them as we go through them. But as for parts, as I was saying, here is a whole emergency brake assembly. I'm hoping it's the right one. I got one for each side, and they are side specific. Got the brake pads and the rotor, and the seal and the O-ring are in there. So that should be all I need to put this on. You can see I put nice coating of undercoating on there before I have a bed made for it. Trying to get it clean while it's all apart. And like I said, I have 4 new shocks. I'm not going to put them on until the brakes are done. So we're going to start with the passenger side and head over to that driver's side. One thing I'm not sure if I have the right one or not is a spindle socket right here. This is the Autocraft one. I forgot what vehicle I bought this for. I think it was for my black F350, the 2001 with the single rear wheels. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same one. If not, I'm going to end up more than likely having to stop the video when I go to reassemble and go purchase one. But for now, let's get this started. Let's get it disassembled. Got to take the rotor off, the rotor bracket. Gonna hang the rotor up, take the rotor bracket off, and then we'll start yanking the axle. To start with, I'm gonna take the caliper off. $17mm. Caliper bracket, 21mm. On a side note, you want to make sure these slides are good with any brake system, front, back, whatever vehicle. Okay, so now I think I got to yank the axle next. These are 15mm, and I got a drip pan to catch it. I'm also going to use my noisy impact gun. Now we got to pry this out. This is your actual axle. So I'm hoping this fits this axle bolt in here. It does. So it's the same as my other truck. All right, good. Save a little bit of money. So I have a clean P-pad right over here. I use them for dust or oily stuff. Everybody has someone in the family that uses them, so just steal them from them. Or they have the pet ones also, or you can buy them on Amazon. I just buy them on Amazon when they're on clearance and sale. Okay, so with a special socket, I don't know the tool name, the tool number of this. It's not stamped in it, but I do have it written down, so later on I'll say what it is. And you're just gonna line these teeth up in the sprocket and back off that nut. You got to push in, otherwise it ratchets. So you just push in and it'll loosen out. And then once it's loose, it should be finger loose. And it has a keyway on it, so when you put it back in, you got to pay attention to that. And there's a keyway right there, and it's right on the casting right there. So I'm gonna put this over on the clean surface. Now I got the wheel bearing in there. Put my hand in front of this, and kind of, see if I can wiggle this out. There I don't want it to drop. Rust. Ooh, that hurt. Gotta get this bearing out. There it is. Can I get it? Nope, I'm gonna go get a pick. I'll be right back. Got a little Harbor Freight pick. There's that. Now, there's going to be a lot of rust falling when I take this off. So I want to move my bearing away, and it's heavy. And it's full of oil, so when you take it out, got to make sure you have something to protect your driveway. And the emergency brake is stuck on it. Full. Keep it that way so no rust goes in that inner bearing. Look at this. That's why we're doing this, taking it all apart. Okay? I'll give you a close-up of how bad these really are. There you go, there's nothing left to them. The dust shield's completely gone. So I gotta take this spring out. So I do believe if I collapse this spring this way, I can pull this cable this way a little bit and it'll slide out this bracket, and then I can unhook it there. I don't remember how I did my other truck, but that's how we're gonna do this one. We're gonna try it at least. All right, so there are 4 big bolts on the back, nuts, and they're 24 millimeter. So that's your condition of emergency brake. I would say, and that's what holds your brakes on too. So I'd say not good. All right, so I'm gonna move this stuff out of here because I gotta still disassemble the hub from the new drum, and I'm gonna clean this area up here. You gotta be really careful of this because this is where your bearings ride. I know what you guys are thinking. While it's apart, replace the bearings, the seats for the bearings, do everything. I'm not doing all that. I'm trying to, I don't even know if the truck is worth it yet, worth this energy and the money that I'm putting into it. So I'm gonna reuse these wheel bearings, unless I see something physically broken or completely worn out. But once I readjust them, I have the torque specs, I do believe, on how to do it, especially because I have the right tool to install them and remove them, that socket. So that's what I'm counting on. And I'm a backyard mechanic. What do you expect? So, all right, let me continue here. Okay guys, here's my dilemma. Look at the condition this is in. Cosmetically, it does not look good. I'm not talking any of the bearing or anything like that. I'm talking out here. And it's all rust. And if I sandblast it, I'm gonna get all sand inside the bearings. So, I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. Yeah, I'll throw a coat of paint on them maybe just to kind of clean them up a little bit and slow down the rust, but I don't know. All right, I'm gonna take the other side apart while this side is drying. I don't know if you could see, not great, but I got them, got a lot of it. So I'm just gonna throw a coat of paint on it and let it cure, let it dry. All right, well, the caliper's painted and drying. The axle's painted and drying. I don't need to paint that. That's all powder coated. I sandblasted that as best I could. I got that hub painted. I got the caliper bracket painted with caliper paint. So this side's pretty much at a standstill until all the paint dries. So I don't know if I should start the other side. I don't know if I want to pull the axle. Well, I could go take the caliper off. I just don't want to pull the axle overnight if I don't have to. Okay guys, here's what we got. Passenger side's all taken apart, cleaned, paint is drying, driveway's a mess. I'm gonna take the caliper off on this side. I don't think I'm gonna yank the axle. I'll do all that tomorrow. So tomorrow, it'll be basically, tomorrow will just be putting that side together and taking this side apart, painting it, and hopefully getting it together by the end of the day. Just once all the paint dries, because obviously I'm too impatient and I'm painting stuff that I said I wasn't gonna paint. So if I figure do it once, try to do as much as you can. It's not costing me anything except time it'll look a lot better. It'll be easier to take apart next time too, when everything else blows up. So, all right, so I'm just gonna yank the caliper on this side and the caliper bracket. Once again, it should be a 17 millimeter and a 21. So I just had a great idea for tomorrow. I'm gonna sandblast this in place after that one's all closed up. Then I wasn't sandblasting these. That's why I wasn't planning on it. But this one's not quite as bad. But I'm gonna try to sandblast as much as I can of that hub before I take it off. That would make sense. That would definitely make sense. Because I don't care if the sand gets all over everything because it's already painted. And I just got to wait for this side to be closed up so that way nothing gets in on that. Well, once again, I call it at 3 shirts. So this is my 3rd shirt of the day. I was doing other things earlier also. So, oh, don't forget, I got videos out on that. I just did a exhaust system, a stainless steel 304 exhaust system on that also. I got the stupid chrome tip on the end. I don't think I'm going to keep that on there. I'm just going to probably take that off and just leave it the regular exhaust. But I'm probably going to get the exact same exhaust system except for the 6.0 on this one. Probably. It depends if I can find a better one. I had a lot of nightmares on a 2001 with a 7.3. It was a pain in the butt. I'm sure it'll be in the video if I even produce a video. I don't know if I think I'm going to have to bleep out a lot of bad words to keep it kid friendly. But it's stainless steel. It's supposed to last a lot longer than anodized ones or whatever the other stuff is. So I have a pigsty here. That's what this big cardboard box is from. I have a big pigsty here, and it's 6 o'clock at night. So I'm gonna pick up the driveway, wrap it up for the day, and tomorrow morning, actually tomorrow afternoon, after I get back, I'll put the passenger side together, fingers crossed, everything goes right. And then I will continue over onto the driver's side. All right, thanks for watching this far.